Attainment. Attainment of all sales targets is our #1 priority for this coming year. Attend. Please be sure to attend the company meeting this Thursday, as there will be a discussion about this year's company trip. Attendance. Attendance at the sales workshop was not mandatory, but those who took part benefited greatly from it. Attendee. One attendee of our Christmas charity bazaar made sure everyone knew who he was by handing out business cards all night. Attention. Some attention must be given to the issue of after-sales service because we have received many complaints from customers. Attire. Formal attire is requested at the fundraising ball this spring, so be sure to make any necessary arrangements. Attitude. His attitude in the workplace left much to be desired, as he spent a great deal of time making annoying comments to coworkers. ATTN. For the attention of. When you send that fax, mark it Attention Carol Robbins to make sure she receives it. Attorney. An attorney from our legal department has been assigned to draw up the new contract with our supplier. Attract. The marketing department held a meeting to brainstorm about new ideas for attracting customers. Attraction. The tour guide took us on a trip to visit local tourist attractions. Attribute. Our poor sales can be attributed to the store our competitor recently opened across the street from us. Attrition. The large company waged a war of attrition against the small family-run business until they agreed to be bought out. Audience. At the end of the ballet, the audience gave the dancers a standing ovation. Audit. In order for the accounting firm to perform a full audit, we had to give them complete access to company accounts. Auditor. An auditor requested that we organize our tax receipts and have them ready for inspection by Wednesday afternoon. Authority. Business license applications must be filed with the proper government authority. Authorization. Government authorization is required for foreign investment in certain sectors of the economy. Authorize. Our sales staff is not authorized to provide discounts of greater than 10% to customers. Automatic. For a small fee, our bank offers an automatic bill payment service. Automation. After some level of production automation is achieved, company profits should increase rapidly. Available. I am afraid I am not available this weekend, but perhaps we can have lunch with the director of the branch office sometime next week. Avoid. If you have a tight budget, it's best to avoid traveling to Europe during the peak summer months. Award. Don Biggins received an award for being the top regional sales representative of the year. Aware. The chief financial officer was aware that something was amiss with the company finances, but he was unable to locate the source of the problem. Back taxes. After missing the tax deadline last year, Maria now owes over $2,000 in back taxes and penalties. Background. Adrian had a background in international trade, which made it very easy for her to find work at a trading company. Balance. Trying to find a balance between work and relaxation has always been a little difficult for Cassandra, as she's a workaholic by nature. Bankruptcy. The restaurant filed for bankruptcy after a month of floods and roadwork kept customers away. Bargain. Smart consumers know that you should always bargain when purchasing a new car. Basis. On the basis of an extensive customer survey, the department store decided to extend its business hours. Bear. Most observers agree that small businesses will bear the brunt of the recent economic downturn. Beforehand. That Broadway show is very popular, so it's best to buy tickets beforehand. Behalf. On behalf of my department, I'd like to apologize for losing such an important client to the competition. Behavior. Her behavior on the phone with clients was deemed unprofessional, and as a result, she was fired from her position. Bend over backwards. Believe me, if you tell me what you need, I will bend over backwards to make sure you get it. Benefit. Many government jobs offer low salaries but excellent benefits. Benefit. Hotel and restaurants will benefit from the government plan to increase tourism. Beverage. Can I bring you some beverages while you're deciding on your main course? Beyond control. The tour itinerary may change due to circumstances beyond our control, such as bad weather or poor road conditions. Bid. A number of contractors have been invited to bid for the construction project. Bigamy. Bigamy is a crime that is not taken lightly in many countries around the world. Bill. Electricity bills are highest during the summer months due to increased use of air conditioners. Blanket. Blankets are provided to all airline passengers, and earphones are available upon request. Board. First-class passengers are allowed to board and exit the airplane before economy passengers. Board meeting. The minutes from the board meeting showed that, as usual, it had lasted a lot longer than scheduled. Board member. In looking over the recent company figures, the board member picked out one or two disturbing discrepancies. Board of Directors. A meeting of the Board of Directors was called to address the issue of salary caps. Bond. Because bonds are low in risk, they usually offer a lower rate of return than stocks. Boost. In order to boost sagging sales, the sales team sought advice from an outside consultant. Bore. Bored with poring over facts and figures, the young attorney decided to hit the town for a night of dancing. Borrow. In the current economic environment, it is increasingly difficult for companies to borrow money. Bottleneck. Due to a production bottleneck, the launch of our new product has been delayed by 2 months. Brainstorm. The advertising team stayed late at the office brainstorming new ideas for the upcoming advertising campaign. Branch office. Last year, our company opened 12 new branch offices, expanding our territory into the Asia-Pacific region and Latin America. Brand. Creating a successful brand requires not only high-quality products, but also effective sales and marketing strategies. Break even. The venture capital firm estimates that it will take 2 years for the new technology company to break even. Break in. After a 2-month break-in period, new employees are given their first performance evaluation. Bring in. We brought in an outside consultant last week to evaluate our employee training program and make recommendations for improvement. Bring together. The management conference brought together business leaders, industry experts, and scholars from around the world. Bring up. If you want to discuss an increase in salary with your boss, you need to bring up the subject at the proper time. Broad. This product appeals to a broad spectrum of consumers because of its reasonable price and excellent functionality. Brochure. Please make sure all visitors to the exhibition receive the brochure detailing our company's product line and shipping policy. Budget. This year's budget calls for a reduction in non-essential expenses such as air travel and long-distance phone calls. Bug. It will take us a few months to get all the bugs out of our new software, but I think that once we are finished, it will become one of our top sellers. Build up. The company spent 2 years building up its customer base over the internet before opening a real storefront. Burdensome. The burdensome task of informing employees that their contracts would not be renewed fell to the head of the Human Resources Department. Burn rate. With this sort of burn rate, we will need to find a new source for capital in 2 months' time. Business capital. The success of any new business depends on sufficient business capital and a talented management team. CO, care of. This package was delivered to you care of the San Francisco office, which explains the lengthy delay. Calculate. If you need to calculate your taxes, just figure that they will be about equal to the amount of 2 monthly salaries. Calculation. There are tax tables on the back of the tax form to assist with calculation of the amount of income tax you owe to the government. Call in. Please be sure to call in if you were unable to make it to work, as not calling in could result in the docking of your pay. Cancel. We had to cancel our trip to the Bahamas last fall when Tom was called away on a business trip at the last minute. Cancellation. Please make a note that a cancellation fee of 1/10 of the total cost will be levied should you decide not to participate in the tour. Candidate. Candidates for the sales position will be required to take an aptitude test and complete a job interview. Capacity. The event facility has a 12,000-person capacity, so it should be a suitable place to hold the electronics show next year. Capital. Our company is going public next year in order to raise capital for expansion into new markets. Capitalize. Our company plans to capitalize on the strong economy by introducing a new line of luxury products. Carrier. The main carrier for our company charges us for all pickups and deliveries on a monthly basis. Cash flow. Atlantis Limited has never had cash flow problems, so if you are looking for a good company to work for, I think it is an excellent choice. Casual. The casual manner in which the boss announced that there would be no year-end bonus left the employees feeling very dissatisfied. Catalog. This year we will send out a catalog of all our product lines to our best customers as well as key potential customers. Catch up. After a faltering during the first 2 quarters, the sales department spent the second half of the year trying to catch up. Categorize. Would you categorize yourself as a go-getter or more as someone who works better under the supervision of others? Category. The director's latest movie was nominated for an award in the Best Picture category at the film festival. Cautious. During economic downturns, banks become extremely cautious and conservative in lending money for business ventures. Chain. The tycoon opened up a chain of coffee shops around the nation that only served to increase his wealth even more. Chance. Chances are that if you can sell one of these machines in Vietnam this year, you will be able to sell another 3 or 4 in the next couple of years. Characteristic. One characteristic of a booming market is that consumers will continue to buy even when prices increase. Charge. Instead of just charging into this new market, we should plan carefully and conduct marketing research. Charge. Kellis is in charge of all the financial matters regarding this event, so if you have any related questions, you should talk to her. Charisma. The young woman was able to secure a position in the advertising agency with sheer charisma. Check in. We will need to check in at the main table of the electronics exhibition to find out where to set up our booth. Checkout. 10 people were already in the checkout line, so the computer technician decided to buy the accessories he needed another day. Choice. The choice to evolve from a small company to a large one is often a very difficult one to make. Choose. If you choose to stay with the company after the buyout, you may face a salary cut and the cancellation of some of your current benefits. Chorus. A chorus of voices spoke out to deny the charges that the department head had misused funds allocated for year-end bonuses. Circuit. Most computer chips nowadays contain tens of millions of miniature circuits. Circulation. The company newsletter, which is edited by our department, has now been in circulation for well over a decade. Circumstance. Under the circumstances, I would be really surprised if Mr. Collins allowed a New Year's party to be held in the main office area. Cite. During his management presentation, the speaker cited a number of well-known experts in the management field. Claim. When the manager was called before the board of directors, he claimed that he had never misused company funds. Clarity. I always have Carol look over everything I write, as her sense of what clarity is in a piece of writing is impeccable. Clerical. After being with the company for several years, Flora was disappointed that she seemed doomed to be forever relegated to clerical duties. Client. The unprepared sales engineer was left with nothing to say after the difficult client asked many difficult technical questions that he had no answers for. Code. Employees are strictly forbidden to give the office alarm code to anybody who does not work for the company. Coincide. Alex's birthday coincided with the launching of the product he had been working on for the last month, so he asked his family to postpone any party plans. Coincidence. It was an interesting coincidence when Alex's former employer came into his office to apply for a job working under Alex.